If people ask me what I thought about 2018, I'd probably just go, okay. Or I'd probably pull, and if people were asking me how 2019 was going so far, I'd probably go. You just did it at the start.
Woo!
Woo!
Somebody asked me how 2018 went on, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that noise. And then
could be
if they
worse.
asked me how 2019 I was going, I'd be like, well, I don't know.
More of the same.
It's going, I guess.
Could be better.
Could be
but
better.
not
Could
as
be
bad
worse.
as it could. Not as bad as it. Not as bad as it could be, but not as good as it should be.
Oh, nothing can be as bad as my probably. I'd say probably the worst years. I'd say like bookended worst years. 2005, 2012, and 2014.
For me, it's
Basically-
just like the shit from 2018 is just still kind of in the back of my mind. So
Well,
it's
for me,
like I've not fixed anything yet, and still worrying about it. So it's kind of just more of the same.
well,
More life issues have already started happening. Like, the brakes went out on my truck and stuff, and other issues relating to life and monies and yeah.
I'd say my last truly bad year, like terrible year, was 2014. That was the year when my grandfather died. That was the year Sean died. That was the year. Oh God, that was the year we had to put Rusty down too. That was rough. That was rough, man. Because his last moments, like he was quivering in fear, and my mom was holding him, and I had my hand on his paw. And they injected him, and he like leaned his head back as far as he could, and then he just very slowly just like faded back and just went out. And I remember mom just broke down crying because he was a good dog. He was stupid, okay, but he was a good dog. He had a very bad upbringing. He was abused as a pup.
Yeah.
And he had trust issues. It took 6 months before he would let my mom pet him.
That sounds like one of our dogs, but
And eventually, like after like 8 or 9 months, eventually he climbed up in the bed and actually slept in the bed. And then he let my mom hold him, and then after a while he let me pet him, but he would never let Blake pet him. Or actually no, Blake was able to pet him, but Blake was never able to hold him. But I remembered when we moved into the one house where my mom's at now, Rusty would always piss on the baseboards. He would always piss. He wouldn't piss on the pad. It would always be right there on the baseboards.
yeah.
And it was always hell for my mom to clean up. And we actually had to replace the baseboards because they warped out from the wall because he pissed on them so much.
Wow.
And yeah, that's probably the last really bad year in my life.
So this got real deep and personal real fast.
Hey, we're here watching Andre, the Black Nerd, talk about the worst of 2018, and everyone's always on Facebook ranting, because it's the popular thing to do.
It's like,
oh, 2018 was terrible. Yeah, you're still alive, and
yeah.
there's still opportunities in front of you.
But to be fair,
Yeah, it
like
just seems like a
everybody's
real
gonna
shit
say that
year.
at the end of every year.
People
But
always say that.
people were like, this
Some-
year was
Basically, some people have worse years than other people, and I don't think you should really, put down anyone for saying that it was a really fucking bad year for them, because you don't really know. It could have been pretty bad from their perspective.
Yeah, it could have been, but at the same time,
I mean,
it's
I'm
just-
not saying
For me personally,
that
I
they.
just feel like sometimes it's needless negativity.
I'm
It's
not.
just people wanting to pretend like their year was bad so they can fit in with everybody else saying their year was bad. It's just like my sister complained that last year was terrible. It's like, really? Last year was terrible? What about the year before that or the year before that? If you ask me, your life's been progressively getting better and better. But she still did it anyway because hey, she wanted to fit in on Facebook and complain about how bad 2018 was, just like everyone else. I'm not going to say that that everyone doesn't have the right. No, people have the right to complain. It's just people who I know did not have a bad year going on and saying, "Oh, my year was terrible." Like, I don't know. It's
Mine
just,
was back and forth. So
Yeah. Yeah, well. This got deep and dark, and on that note, here's Andre.
Sorry, everybody.
Alright, let's get this over with. Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd, and this is the video for the worst of 2018 with movies, games, and geek culture. The worst movies of 2018. I didn't see a lot of them. I didn't see 50 Shades Freed. I didn't see The Nutcracker in the 4 rounds. I didn't see Robin Hood. I didn't see Gotti. Didn't do The Slender Man. It's hard for me to be like, oh, the worst of 2018 when I'm like, I didn't see any of this stuff. And if you're thinking I'm going to have movies like Rampage or Venom or Aquaman or anything like that on this list, then you probably should watch my best of 2018 to see how I thought about those types of movies. And I definitely ain't putting Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom on this list because that's one of the best movies of 2018 for me. Don't at me. Don't care, bro. I was going to try to catch up on all the Marvel.
At least he still has positivity.
Do I need to anymore? Like, does it even matter? Like, Netflix just Thanos the entire Marvel Netflix library of shows. You can see Jessica Jones and the Punisher riding on a giant star with Kirby from Super Smash Bros. Trying to escape and be safe. I tried to watch the Cloverfield Paradox after that Super Bowl ad.
Thought the Punisher wasn't canceled, though.
I watched it kind of late, though, so I don't
It's
know
pretty much going to be, though.
Yeah.
After the second season, I guess. That sucks.
I think Punisher and Jessica Jones are about to be canceled.
Well, Jessica Jones already has been canceled.
Oh.
I almost forgot that it was 2018 because people kept talking about The Last Jedi, and that came out in 2017. I'm like, what year is this? Solo was like, can you be mad at us for a little bit? Solo probably wished that it had the anger that people had for The Last Jedi, just so it could get some attention. Plus, I'm not going to attack Star Wars for milking its franchise with unnecessary prequels when we're getting that a lot more from the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Wizarding World. The only movie that I saw this year that I would say was the absolute worst was Show Dogs. And you're like, wait, you saw Show Dogs, Andre? You didn't make a video about it. And I'm like, I know. I went to go see it with the hopes that that would be the kind of movie I'd be able to make fun of. It was so boring that I couldn't even come home and make a fun video about it because of how boring it was. I had more fun watching Max Steel than Show Dogs.
Damn.
I should have gone to see Axel instead. At least they had Becky G in it. Worst video games of 2018. I didn't play them. I didn't play Metal Gear Survive. I didn't know what Agony was Wild West Online. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that was just the online portion of Red Dead Redemption 2. And people kept talking about The Quiet Man. I thought that was a movie. I didn't play
Yeah, I've not heard anything about that.
Fallout 76 even sent me a press packet with a bunch of goodies in it, and I still didn't play Fallout 76. Some influencer I am, although I still like that jacket that they gave me in that packet. That's actually a pretty good jacket. Maybe Fallout 76 should stop making the game and just make clothes and accessories. Except for bags. Don't make bags. And I saw a lot of people put Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn on their worst of 2018 list, but I'm sorry. I played that game live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/BlackNerdComedy. Check over there now. Maybe I'm live right now. If you don't know, I could be. Yeah, it's short. Yeah, it's repetitive. And yeah, the jokes are pretty much ridiculous and in some cases super juvenile in all cases. But I don't know, that was kind of the charm for it for me. Shaq turned into a cactus and Icy Hot was a power-up. See, that's what I needed from Show Dog. Something so ridiculous I can go, okay, I can have fun with this ridiculousness. Maybe if I would have given money to the Kickstarter for Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, then I would be upset. I think you have that right to be upset. But
He's not live right now.
What now?
So he's not live right now.
Oh.
I was just wondering.
Do you not know about the first one? We tried to tell you from back then. I told you about Shaq Fu back in the 90s. I told you it wasn't good. What made you think your money was going to go to a better sequel for Shaq Fu?
He's
Some
right.
things you just gotta leave in the past. Some things should just stay classic. Like the PlayStation classic. Good news though, I have a new business venture. I'm gonna be making my own console. I got inspired by Soulja Boy. So my new console. I know you're thinking, oh, it looks a lot like Nintendo, but wait a second.
Yeah.
My console, because it has my name on it. Oh, Andre, but what about Fortnite? Fortnite is everywhere. Yeah, Fortnite is everywhere. You know what also used to be everywhere? Fidget spinners. Cabbage Patch Kids, Beanie Babies. Over time, we'll find out if this is a legitimate video game franchise or just a fad. So in the meantime, take a chill pill, you know, drink your Ecto Cooler, eat your Dunkaroos, and do the Urkel and Bartman. Oh, but Andre, the
Man, I want some
Diablo
Dunkaroos.
thing, okay.
I don't think I ever had Dunkaroos.
Very delicious.
The Switch version that I got. You don't want a mobile game, don't play it. It's gonna be okay. They're gonna do other ones, especially when no one plays that mobile game. Remember Me Tomo? Remember when that was a big thing? At the same time,
For like a week.
Diablo.
For like a week.
You saw what happened with EA at E3 when they spent half of their press conference on a freaking mobile game. Why'd you think that you were gonna be cool? Because you were at your home and you thought you were safe in your self-convention? Nah, fool. Have you met nerds in 2018? Same people that got like 1,000 characters in Smash. Mad at Waluigi ain't in it. Why'd you think they were nice to you about a mobile game? I don't know what to do on YouTube anymore. Like, the algorithm has become this thing that no one understands, but everyone feels like they can explain, and I don't know what to do with it, but I just know that, like, for some reason, some videos are like, we love you, this is great, hundreds of thousands of views. Other ones are like, I don't even know you made a video today. Why did you even try to do this, Andre, right now? Like, what do you even want? YouTube is rejecting this. We're rejecting this. And then we're not
That's been happening to you lately, too.
We just talking about no one's going to ever see this, ever. But don't you dare say one thing about going over to Twitch. How dare you
I feel like
use
our channel does the
platform
same
to
thing.
create your own audience to be able to tell your audience.
Maybe it's just like you said, it's the beginning of the year, but and they did a thing, or the adpocalypse. I don't know.
Can we just stop? This is totally first world problems, personal people problems, but dang it, sometimes it just hurts because I love geek culture, but I feel like every time I talk about it now, there's always has to be an anger or a debate or a controversy. Getting mad that a woman or a person of color is in something like, look, y'all got a lot of other stuff, trust me. For every little bit that you think we're taking away from you, you got so much more. Like, if all of entertainment was a pizza, we're not even taking a slice. We taking like 2 pepperonis and an onion. That's it. You don't even like onions on your pizza, but somehow you get mad if I take the onion. That being said, companies don't feel like you deserve a pat on the back or a Nobel Peace Prize every single time you decide to add a little Salt Bay of diversity. I mean, yeah, you do something on the level of Black Panther or Crazy Rich Asians, and yeah, you have every reason to be like, look. And
Searching was a badass movie.
I don't know what Searching is.
It's about this Korean-American family. It's husband, wife, and daughter. And the mother gets sick. She develops a form of cancer. And it very slowly erodes away at her. And the daughter and the father become distant from one another because of the whole thing that happened.
Yeah.
And then one day, the daughter goes missing. And the father is trying to figure out what the hell happened. And turns out a lot of stuff that he thought he knew about his daughter turns out wasn't exactly true. And he finds out that she was actually saving up money for something, and she withdrew the money the day she disappeared, and that was that. And it was an awesome friggin' movie. Awesome friggin'. It's one of the best modern suspense films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And honestly, to me, it wasn't about the fact that it was, it was the whole forced diversity thing. I could give 2 shits about the forced diversity thing. As long as it's a good story, that's all I care about. I don't care. Yeah. It's like people are just like, oh, we got a person of color in this, or we got a woman in the lead in this. I'm like, I do not care. Yeah. If it's not interesting, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
If it's interesting and I like it, hell yeah, I'm going to watch it.
And a lot of times you can tell if it's forced diversity anyway.
It is, yeah. I mean, and look, this doesn't take anything away from, like me, I love the shit out of Black Panther.
Yeah.
I thought Crazy Rich Asians was friggin' hilarious. And like I said, I loved Searching. It's about the quality of the film. Hey, how about you judge the content? Instead you judge the content of a film's character, and not by the color of the skin of the people who are in it. How's that? Is that so hard to do? Well, it's me. Little rant, little picadillo there. Sorry.
What we did, but just because you put a woman on a cover or a black person in your story that could have been white, wow, congratulations, that's wonderful. A thing that you should have done years ago because this exists in real life. If I get one more fool talking about Black Panther is like the Lion King because they both sit in Africa and it involved cat animals, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm not a violent person, but I want to smack you in the face right now. That would be like me running around going, oh, well, Aquaman, that's underwater, so that's basically the Little Mermaid. Or Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Watch like 15 trailers and things before they go see a movie and already have early judgments for it. What's your judgment on the site? Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? The movie comes out in 2019. I can't wait for it. I'm so excited about it because I can't wait either way. We haven't even seen the dude's face. We saw a silhouette of the poster and some legs, and that is it. Also, with as many video game movies that have been bad over time, you think Sonic is seriously gonna be your savior? I'm not saying the movie can't be good. I'm just saying, really?
It probably won't be.
No, it probably won't be.
Your Eggman's in that basket? I'm just tired, dude. I'm just so tired of everything. Why can't we just enjoy this stuff? Like, that's the whole point of being a nerd or a geek, is that you love and are obsessed over this stuff. I'm not saying you have to blindly follow it, because I think companies need to stop that too. Companies, stop believing that you can just throw whatever you want at your audience and they'll accept it in blind faith because they're so devoted to you. No, and we should know, people should know, that you shouldn't be that devoted to a company because they're always going to care about the bottom line. So that relationship, that needs to end. Like, do what you do, we'll like what we like, and we won't like what we won't like, and I don't need a Twitter moment to constantly tell me how people are split on the idea of something, because newsflash, pretty much everything that comes out, someone's gonna like or not like. I don't need a story about other people's opinions of a story. That's not a story. And then I feel bad because I am doing the same thing, reacting to the things that are happening out there. So am I part of the problem now? I don't know. Huh?
Damn, Andre.
Shut up. But then I also want a bunch of people who work on the things that people are fans for to also shut up. I think we all just need to shut up. I miss the days when social media was just pictures of people's food. I used to make fun of that. I used to be like, stop posting pictures of your food. Now I want that more than ever. Please show me your breakfast. Please show me your lunch. Please show me your dinner. Because I just want that. And don't add that breakfast, lunch, and dinner picture with your opinions on politics or race or religion.
Yeah, that's like everything I see on social media right now.
Some things don't need a consensus. Sorry if I sound like old man yelling at a cloud here, but when I grew up, I didn't feel like I needed that consensus. I felt like if I liked something, I just liked it. I didn't have to check outside and go, hey everybody, I like this thing, are we cool with that? Am I allowed to like this? Tell me, Rise of the Turtles is out. Are we all together on liking or not liking this? Because I need to know what you all think before I have my own opinion. But God forbid that I have my own opinion, or else I'm the person that hates new things because I only care about the past if I say something negative about it, or I'm the corporate sellout shill being paid under the table by some company if I say something good about it. Yeah, look. This ain't fun, man. I put a lot of my time, energy, and even emotions into YouTube and geek culture and social media. Yeah, it's made less videos this year than I did last year, almost half as much. And yet I feel like so much of my time and attention is being spent to all these things. And what's weird is that there's so many cool things that I personally did in 2018. I'm not even taking the time to celebrate the successes that I'm having, you know, and I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna explain it to you like this. My relationship with YouTube right now, my relationship with geek culture right now, my relationship with social media right now, it's like an old used car. It runs, it works, it breaks down a lot. You gotta put a lot of time into it, and I keep just putting stuff into it. And there just comes a point where I have to decide with this used car of stuff I'm doing. Do I need to just put it all in to fix that car, to get it back to where it was? Or do I need to buy a new car?
A lot of people have been
And
talking
the sad part
about that.
about this question is, I don't have the answer. I don't know, but I'm still gonna keep making YouTube videos, and I'm still gonna be doing live Twitch streams, and in the meantime, I'm gonna try to figure out how to make this all better. I'm trying to figure out what I even honestly like anymore, or what like gets me happy when it comes to geek culture. I gotta figure that out. And that's okay. I don't look at this as a bad thing at all. This is good, and if that means doing some things differently, or doing some things more, or doing some things less, then that's just how it's gotta be. My health and well-being is more important. But yeah, there were some terrible movies and games this year too. Sure. Probably like Netflix movies and shows that were on that. They were a lot more than
It's kind of turned into something completely different, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, everyone experiences what is effectively known as burnout. I've been there. I actually have come close to experiencing it a few times just doing this stuff. And the stuff that... here's one thing that I've learned whenever you experience burnout. Try new things. Add new things to your palate to try and make things better for yourself. Like for me, it was going to the School of Morton and going to Primordic Studios and trying out new things. Seeing what worked. Seeing and having fun and introducing myself to new people and having fun and all that. Doesn't mean that I don't like doing this stuff, guys. I mean, there was actually some complaints in some of our videos that seems like we're not having as much fun as we used to. Well, here's the problem, man. I mean, it's not that I'm not having fun. It's just compounding stress from a lot of other things are impacting my life. And it's not stress that's like terrible. It's not like something I haven't handled before. It's just nagging issues that I thought I had resolved, but in turn they weren't resolved, and in fact things were just as bad. And that's unfortunate because I keep looking back on everything and I'm just like, ugh. What did I do wrong? I'm wondering what I did that caused myself to be in this predicament. And I focused way too much on what I did wrong and all that instead of trying to fix the problem and it's a problem I used to do. It's a problem I used to have way back in the day, way back when I had when it was before the channel was going and everything, where I was in just a constant loop of just self-pity, blaming everyone else, blah 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 blah, and all that. And I don't want to go back to that again because I hated the person I was back then. I was a dick back then. I mean, people see me nowadays and like, "Oh, Nate, you're such a dick now." And I'm like, "You didn't know me back in 2012, 2013. I was a rancid, steaming, heaping pile of shit that honestly, I didn't just match it personality-wise. I matched it, metaphorically, too, because I didn't shower that much back then. And, I just grew out of it, and I grew up. I grew up, and I was just like, oh, God, that's enough of this. And I don't want to fall back into that, and in order for me not to fall back into that, I have to pretty much jolt my brain into doing other things. Because if I focus way too much on the negatives, then I'll bog myself down, and I'll just start to pity myself again. Not what I want to do. So I can understand where Andre's coming from a little bit with this, because
I actually have a burnout story as well, kind of.
Go ahead.
So I started streaming on Twitch when I found out the PlayStation 4 would let you just share your gameplay. Because before that point, my whole thing that was holding me back was I didn't really have a good gaming PC that could stream much. I didn't have many games on Steam or anything. But I had a big PS4 library, so once I found out it could share, and I could just stream that way, I was like, I want to give this a shot, you know? So I started streaming, and then I started taking it really, really seriously. And every time that I was going to play a game, I was like, I gotta stream this, you know? It's like, I gotta go get this game so I can stream it. Hey guys, I'll be home tonight with the new game that comes out tonight, and I'll be on Twitch, streaming it, And I was like, trying to build a little bit of a follower base. I would occasionally get some people and stuff. After a point, I started to get really, really depressed. And I started to think about the fact that I was like, I have all these games here, I want to play them. I don't want to talk to people right now, though. I don't want to be on video and stuff. And so I kind of thought about it for a little bit. I almost was just like, I'm not going to do Twitch anymore. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck playing everything on stream. I was like, I need to play games for myself sometimes too. So I was like, I made a post about it. I was like, I'm not going to stream as much as this coming week, as I usually do. I'm not going to do every day and shit, I was like, I'm going to play something for myself for a little bit. And so I sat there and played through a Batman game by myself, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And then since then, I have always kind of been like, this game I want to play on stream. This game is my game, and I'm playing it at my own
pace.
Your own leisure.
Yeah, my own leisure, basically.
Yeah.
And that has made me a lot happier. And then I started to get burned out again after getting affiliate. Because, I mean, like, I went back to it that way. I started having a lot more fun when I would stream, you know, because I actually wanted to be streaming and wanted to be playing that game when people could hang out. And I started meeting people and making friends, networking and stuff, and I got affiliate. Then I started to burn out a little bit more, and that was the point where, like, I was just like, yeah, affiliate's cool, but, like, I'm disappointed with my rig and stuff, and I don't really know if I want to stream that much. And then I ended up, like, you know, stopping by your guys' stream one day, and I was just like, you guys seem really cool, like, you know. And then I ended up deciding, basically, rather than work on my Twitch, like, I'd have more fun just helping you out with your stuff. So that's kind of how my evolution has gone.
There you go. Go ahead.
I was just going to say most of my burnout just came from, like, school and everything, whereas you get farther into what I was doing at ETSU, like, the projects, like, there was one project that somebody told me about where, like, you had to do, like, 25 posters with variations of those 25 posters. I'm like, how does Wayne expect you to do all of that? Like,
yeah, when you're in, like, digital media and stuff, you have classes where the teachers assign assignments, and they basically, like, I asked one of them one time, I was like, you assigned this assignment that is due, you know, in a week, right? And we have 4 other classes. And the amount of time that you're expecting us to put into this assignment is probably roughly, if I had to guess, like 200 hours.
There's a
lot
of.
And they're like, yeah. And I'm just like, how do you expect us to do our stuff from the other classes? And they're like, I care about my class. I can give a fuck less what happens to you in your other classes.
And your
basically.
Professors are bad.
They
for that.
literally said that. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, they don't give a fuck. It's like, they only care about what they're teaching you, and they give a fuck less if you learn anything else. So basically, if you ever want to go to college, my recommendation is, even though it will take you goddamn forever, go part-time. Only take, like, 2 classes at once, because you're going to get fucked up the ass with homework if you're ever going to college for game design or digital media or anything like that.
Because I was supposed to
Part-time
be...
is the way to go.
I was supposed to be starting my senior year, like, this, like, actually, this would be the middle of my senior year. Right now, the semester that's starting back would be, like, the second half of it, probably. And I was like, I couldn't go back because, 1, I can't afford it, and 2, I'm just still tired. And I've already taken a year off, so...
Yeah, I still am, like, if I go back, I'm not getting back into the same thing I was in.
Yeah.
Like, if I go back, I'm going to, like, mechanic school or something like that. I'm going to learn to fix cars.
Yeah.
But that's if I can ever afford to do that.
I wish that, like, people weren't so against going to, like, trade schools and stuff, like, counselors and everything. They're like, you need to go to college and study, like...
And then nowadays, come to find out, you could actually be making, like, shit tons more money if you just went to a trade school a lot faster with less debt as a result.
And then, also, I was going to say with professors, like, most of them only care about, like, their class and if you get done with stuff from their class and everything. But then there was, like, you know... teachers would be like, I'm only going to tell you exactly what you need to know. I'm going to prepare you because you have other stuff in your lives. You have friends, family, and other classes, most importantly. And I'm not going to give you a bunch of unnecessary information that you're only going to remember for like a week.
Yeah, you get good teachers and bad teachers.
Which was Dula.
Occasionally you get 2 teachers at the same time that are like, I don't give a fuck what else you got going on, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I had with that one project, but luckily my teacher ended up actually being cool. And they were like, you proved to me with what you did do, even though you didn't do the full assignment, you did 1/3 of it, that you have mastered the skills that I wanted you to learn from this class, and therefore you can have an A.
And you still got to get
a grade. Thank God.
Yeah. Yay, thank you.
Yeah, and then now you're like, I'm going to go back to my dorm and nap for 6 hours.
And I was like, I'm going to go nap for like a week.
Oh, man. So, yeah, everyone goes through burnout, guys. And it's just the important thing is don't let it get you down. Don't let it bog you down. Just figure your way around it.
That's the biggest thing is, like, try doing things differently for a minute.
I also, sorry,
Good.
Like,
I was just gonna say I also meant to suggest a Jaden Animations video that was basically like how to deal with burnout. She's
yeah.
like she went to see a therapist and like she learned, take a break from social media, do different things. Like don't force yourself to be working every minute of the day, stuff like that.
That's one of my things I've had to do recently. Sometimes I just have to like take my phone and just be like, because
Yeah.
I'll read Facebook for way too long and then I'll start to get pissed off at people being freaking stupid.
I'll shut myself off from that stuff most of the time whenever I need to be away from it.
Yeah, it's like I've got stuff that I have to do, but I keep getting distracted by like social media and stuff. And there's just stuff that I want to do that's like it's just for fun that I procrastinate on for whatever reason.
I'm the same way. It's like I don't really know if this counts, but like just like the other night, like I was like I really want to play Persona 5 again, I was like I'm gonna play some Persona 5 tonight.
Yeah.
Instead, like once Nate went to bed, I sat there and I looked at my phone for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette, then I'm gonna back up here and play Persona. And
And
while I
then
was smoking a cigarette, I started watching a video on the top 500, a top 500 ranked Roadhog.
Yeah.
And I was watching him kick all kinds of ass, and I was listening to the guy's tips on how to play more similar to how that guy plays, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. So
Yeah.
I ended up playing Overwatch instead for like 3 hours and just practicing.
I feel like especially with me and you, like social media is a thing. Like we get distracted. Not that like that's a.
I have ADD.
It
so
kind of is a bad.
obviously,
Well,
like,
it's not like a bad thing. It's just like an unintentional thing that we do. That like we want to do other things, but then we're like, crap. We just looked at our phones for an hour or something like that.
it
Like
happens.
even if you're not being productive doing something that you actually have to do, it's bad whenever you're like me and you put off stuff that you actually want to do in favor of just sitting here doing nothing just because you're like that takes effort even though it's something that I want to do and it's not supposed to be for anything and there's not a time limit that I have to do it in, so it shouldn't be rushed at all, but you act like it feels like it's rushed.
Yeah.
Because there's so
one
much
of the
you
things
want
you
to
have
do.
to kind of keep in mind is like, did you enjoy the time you wasted? If not, stop.
Yeah.
Like doing what you didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the time that you wasted, then it wasn't wasted time.
Yeah.
Like
the
time you enjoy wasting is never wasted. Is
Yeah.
actually what the phrase essentially was.
I remember when I showed you the Ear Biscuits episode where Rhett talks about how he played Limbo that's been out for however many years and he really enjoyed it, but he felt bad for playing it. And you tweeted at him that same thing that you just said.
Yeah.
And I showed that to Ben. He's like, I don't feel like I'm allowed to take time just to play games that I want to play that's not for streaming. I'm like, you can totally do that. You don't have to stream everything.
Yeah, it's like me, like us playing Overwatch. I mean, we could stream us playing Overwatch all the time, but I don't want to.
Well, it's like there was one night where Nate was like, yeah, I'm going to stream this. And then he was just kind of like, you know what? And he just kind of didn't. And I was like,
it's because
it
it took us a really long time to get everything together and all that. And I was just saying to myself, it's just like, I just want to play. I don't want to have to do anything like. I just want to play.
You don't want to be rushed. You don't.
Well,
want to
sometimes I really look forward to streams too, though, and I'm just like, I really want to hang out and talk to everybody while I play this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's like with Danganronpa, I was kind of excited because I was like, I want everybody else to talk to me while I play this game because this is going to be a fun one to talk to people while I play.
Also, sorry I talked really fast. Like I was just trying to make my point, and I feel like I had to talk really fast to do that. I don't know.
No, you're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was the worst of 2018 by Andre the Black Nerd, Black Nerd Rants. So, if you wanted to see more of Andre, there is a link to the original video down below. Check it out. Also, don't forget to check out our various other endeavors, including our Patreon and our Discord. And, I guess until next time, everyone, we will see you then. I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
I'm Kyra.
And we'll see you then. Peace out.